فمنهم من يتبع الشمس.
And amongst them will be people who follow the sun.
ومنهم من يتبع القمر.
Indeed, some of them will begin to follow the moon.
ومنهم من يتبع الطواغيت.
And some of them will begin to follow the Tawaghit, the false gods.
فتبقى هذه الأمة وفيها المنافقون.
And indeed, only this ummah will be remaining, and the hypocrites are amongst this ummah.
فيأتيهم الله.
Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come to them,
فيقول أنا ربكم.
and indeed will say, I am your Lord.
فيقولون هذا مكاننا حتى يأتينا ربنا.
And they will say, this is our place until our Lord comes to us.
فإذا جاء ربنا عرفناه.
And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, our Lord comes, we will recognize him.
فيأتيهم الله.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come to them
فيقول أنا ربكم.
and say, indeed, I am your Lord.
فيقولون أنت ربنا.
Indeed, you are our Lord.
فيدعوهم فيضرب الصراط.
And he will call upon him.
فيضرب الصراط بين ظهراني جهنم.
And then you find that the bridge will be placed upon Jahannam, upon the hellfire.
يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
The Prophet Muhammad will say,
فأكون أول من يجوز من الرسل بأمته.
indeed, I will be the first one that will cross from amongst my ummah.
اللهم اجعلنا منهم.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those individuals.
ولا يتكلم يومئذ أحد إلا الرسل.
And no one will speak on that day except for the messenger.
كلام الرسل يومئذ.
And indeed, the speech of the messenger that day,
اللهم سلم اللهم سلم.
O my Lord, rescue, O my Lord, save.
وفي جهنم كنابيب.
And indeed, inside Jahannam there will be some chains that will be grabbing the people, lynching the people. And some people will be destroyed by the actions. And some of them will begin to fall and slip, but then they will be rescued. And indeed, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show mercy to amongst the people of the hellfire, will command the angels to take out whoever used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and will take them out of the hellfire and will be recognized via the signs, the remnants of sujood, of making prostration upon their body. Every part of the body will be exhumed by the fire except for the parts which used to form the prostration. And indeed they will come out the fire and they have been burnt and they have been blazed. And they will be turned into coal and then they will be brought back to life like a seed. Indeed, the water of life will be thrown upon those seeds. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will begin to judge amongst his servants. As for the people of the hellfire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to them, did I not tell you, or did you not take a promise not to worship the devil? Indeed, he is a clear enemy towards you. And worship only me, indeed this is the straight path. And indeed many of you have gone astray. Can you not recognize and have the intellect to see this? Indeed, this is Jahannam, the hellfire. Indeed, this is the hellfire that which you have been promised as your awaiting destination. Indeed, enter into it because of the disbelief that you committed. And they will be dragged into Jahannam in groups. As for the believers, and they will be waiting on the qantara between the hellfire and paradise. And if there is any form of oppression that took place upon this earth, will be rectified. And then once they are purified and filtered, and then permission will be granted for them to enter into paradise. Until when they come to stop at the doors of paradise, so they begin to consult one another who should enter first. So they come to Adam, then they go to Nuh, then they go to Ibrahim.
ثم يذهبون إلى موسى
then they go to Musa,
ثم إلى عيسى
then they go to Isa,
ثم إلى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
then they go to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
عند مسلم من حديث أنس
In the hadith in the Sahih Imam Muslim,
قال صلى الله عليه وسلم
that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said,
أنا أول شفيع في الجنة.
I am the first one to enter or intercede for paradise.
وفي لفظ
And in another wording,
وأنا أول من يقرع باب الجنة.
indeed I will be the first one who will knock on the doors of paradise.
وفي مسند أحمد من حديث أنس
In the Muslim Imam Ahmad, from the authority narrated by
قال
Anas,
صلى الله عليه وسلم
the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
آتي باب الجنة يوم القيامة
indeed I will come to the door of paradise on the day of judgment,
فأستفتح
and I will request it to be opened,
فيقول الخازن من أنت؟
and the caretaker will say, who are you?
أقول محمد.
And I will say, it is me, Muhammad.
فيقول
And he will say,
بك أمرت أن لا أفتح لأحد قبلك.
and for you all alone I was only told to open this door when you arrive and to open these doors for you.
وفي مسند الإمام أحمد من حديث أبي هريرة وأنس رضي الله عنهما
In another hadith in the Muslim of Imam Ahmad,
قال صلى الله عليه وسلم
the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
أنا أول من يدخل الجنة
I am the first one that will enter into paradise
يوم القيامة ولا فخر.
on the day of judgment, and there is no boasting regarding this.
وإني آتي باب الجنة
Indeed, I will come to the door of paradise,
فآخذ بحلقتها
and I will take the entrance of the door,
فيقولون من هذا؟
and it will be said, who is this?
فيقول أنا محمد.
And he will say, indeed, it is me, Muhammad. And then it will open for him,
فأدخل
and I will enter.
فإذا الجبار عز وجل مستقبلي الجبار عز وجل مستقبلي.
Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be there,
فأسجد له.
and I will prostrate in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
يقول ارفع رأسك يا محمد.
He said, raise your head, O Muhammad,
وتكلم يسمع منك.
speak and you will be heard,
وقل يقبل منك.
ask and it will be accepted from you,
واشفع تشفع.
intercede and intercession will be granted.
فأرفع رأسي فأقول
So I'll raise my head and I will say,
أمتي أمتي يا رب.
my nation, O my Lord.
يقول اذهب إلى أمتك.
Then we said, go to your nation.
فمن وجدت في قلبه مثقال حبة من شعير من الإيمان.
Whoever you find amongst them who has atoms or a wheat grain of iman inside their heart,
فأدخله الجنة.
then enter him into paradise.
فأقبل فمن وجدت في قلبه ذلك.
And
فأدخله الجنة.
whoever we find with such a level of iman will enter them into paradise.
فإذا الجبار عز وجل مستقبلي فأسجد له.
Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be facing me and I'll prostrate once again in front of him.
يقول ارفع رأسك يا محمد.
And we said, raise your head, O Muhammad.
وتكلم يسمع منك.
Speak and it will be heard from you.
وقل يقبل منك.
Ask and it will be accepted from you.
واشفع تشفع.
Intercede and your intercession will be granted.
أرفع رأسي.
I will raise my head.
أقول أمتي أمتي أي رب.
I will say, oh my nation, O my Lord.
فيقول اذهب إلى أمتك.
Then we said, go to your ummah, go to your nation.
فمن وجدت في قلبه نصف حبة من شعير من الإيمان فأدخلهم الجنة.
Whoever you find with an atom's grain of half an atom grain of iman inside their heart, enter that individual into paradise.
فأذهب فمن وجدت في قلبه مثقال ذلك أدخلتهم الجنة.
So will be taken, those individuals will be taken with that level of iman and they will be entered into paradise.
فإذا الجبار عز وجل مستقبلي فأسجد له.
Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be there and I will prostrate once again in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
فيقول ارفع رأسك يا محمد.
And we said, raise your head, O Muhammad,
وتكلم يسمع منك.
speak and you will be heard,
وقل يقبل منك.
and ask and it will be accepted from you.
واشفع تشفع.
Intercede and your intercession will be granted.
فأرفع رأسي فأقول أمتي أمتي أي رب.
And I will raise my head and I will say, my nation, O my Lord.
فأقول أمتي أمتي.
And I'll say, oh my nation,
يقول اذهب إلى أمتك.
It will be said, go to your nation.
فمن وجدت في قلبه مثقال حبة من خردل من الإيمان فأدخله الجنة.
And wherever you find a small grain of faith inside their heart, enter them into paradise. And thus we'll go and find those individuals and enter them into paradise. And indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has completed the accountability of mankind.